Hey besties, let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? So Rob's secret wasn't that he's gonna get more time. Oh, I didn't see that coming. I just knew that he was gonna have to tell her that he wasn't getting out when he thought he would and he needed to stay in longer. Some think that he has some baby somewhere, but you got to remember he's been in jail a very long time, like 18 years, or he's been in jail since he was 18. He's been in jail a long time. What kid? If he has a kid, the kid almost grown, but maybe the person that had it didn't tell him. I know. And for the life of me, I cannot understand who is doing hair in prison. I mean, True's hair was twisted. It looked clean, unlike Red's, last season. His hair needed to be, he needed some care. But yeah, who's in prison doing locks? Retwisted, styling, man bun. But the barber, who's cutting it in the front? What's going on with that hairline? I think it's cut a little something. No, it ain't right. What am I talking about? I am talking about Love During Lockup, Season 5, Episode 24, Vegas or Bust. And hey, besties, this is Behind the Shade. Come in, come in. Go ahead and click the like button, subscribe, and share. And please rate this episode. It was entertaining. I'm engaged. I must say, I'm loving it. I'm glad we got some new dummies and it feels good. But now a lot of couples remind me of other previous couples. We'll get into that. So you tell me who you think, who reminds you of who from the past. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's get into it. I'm going to rate this episode. I was engaged. I was engaged. It was some good, interesting points. I might give it a B, maybe an A minus. What do you rate it? So let's get into it. Episode starts off with Teeny and Rob. They're working out together on FaceTime. Oh, how cute is that? So I'm believing that the secret is that he wants her to go to lunch with his mother to get on a better page with her. And she's like reluctant, like, oh my God, no, because, clearly something has happened. Something about, there's an issue with $500. He gave her the money and he wanted Teeny to ask her for it back. Now, I wasn't clear if the mama gave the money back and stopped talking to them, or did she keep the money and stop talking to her or him? Not really clear if she still talks to her son. But anyway, I think it's wrong for Rob to put her in this. You know that they don't get along, and we learned that they have not talked in 3 years. And you want her to go to your mom. Now you know your mom. You know how she is. Why didn't you clear this up? This is your mother. You should have cleaned it up. But he's the boss. And that's why you got to keep these Negroes, keep these cameras out your house. But anyway, so they're working out. She's like, oh my God, it's really cute. I got to say, I think they are so cute. They just working out. He really they're working out, and she's. I think they're cute. I don't know. It's like they trying to win me over. Okay, so what else happens? We didn't see the beautiful kids, no friends, but okay. She goes and meets the mom. They go to a little cafe, and his mom don't like her. Like it is clear Teeny don't care or whatever, but she's gonna do what gonna do for her husband because they are married, and this is her mother-in-law. So she speaks to the mom. Her name is Kate. She speaks to the mom, hello, whatever. And did y'all peep that Kate did not speak back? Are you serious? That's how we starting off 3 years later? You're not gonna speak? Like you're not gonna respect my presence as a human being? Honey, I would have got up and left then. I'm not even finna start this with you. I'm not into having hard conversations. And are we really tripping off this $500? Like, so let's stop. Let's pause real quick. Let's retract what we heard. So Rob and his brother have a business. You notice how they didn't tell us what kind of business, or did I not hear it because I'm thinking drugs or something illegal? But I didn't hear a job description. But she says Rob has a savings, and how many people? She's asking how many people gonna come out of jail and have a savings. How much in there, girl? We want to know how much. How much is in there? We know is the $500 back in there. We don't know, did it get back? Did it get deposited back in the account? And what do y'all do? Now remember, she's a housewife, so I'm thinking, is he making money to support her? That's what I'm kind of thinking. Maybe that's why he can feel like he need cameras in the house. And um he got a phone at the jail, and he got his own cell, and he in there talking loud. He ain't even whispering. So maybe he is the head honcho. Maybe he is a big deal. But I don't know. Even if I was the brother and I'm doing all the whatever I'm doing, and I'm doing all of the work, probably all Rob can do is talk and call shots. But I know they're not 50-50, because if I'm doing all the work, you're going to get a couple of dollars. But maybe Rob is making some money because the girl is a housewife. She is at home, and we saw the front of the house. It looks like a duplex, really cute garage. Her side on one side, the other neighbors on the opposite side. Relatively nice looking place. So it's like, that's what I'm thinking. He taking care of her. Not bad. And how is this happening in jail? So, oh my God. Kate is the mother's name. She says she is still in her feelings about that money, because that is her son and she's struggling. She said, I barely made it up here. And look how y'all living. And so she said, you don't even pick up the phone or reach out and explain to me. And the mom, I kind of understand her point. Like, Teeny, you didn't even pick up the telephone and call and explain to me about the money needing to come back. Like, you should have, there should have been a conversation there. And I agree. You cannot text everything, and get an understanding. In certain cases, you need to pick up the phone and have a conversation. And I know it was uncomfortable to go back and ask the mama for the money back. So it should have been a telephone conversation so she could have heard, your passion and your understanding and this, that, and the other. Because like myself, I don't know about you guys, besties, but I read my text messages in sarcasm. Yes, I do. I do. So if you not LOL in your stuff and I don't know your humor, I'm gonna assume you're being obnoxious or whatever. So I just read it. So I think a lot of us read in sarcasm. So yeah. And if she didn't give it back, then you should have known that was a problem. And nobody cared. It's been 3 years. Huh. So she's all, I've been taking care of my mama and this, that, and and she said she didn't even want to be there. And she's like, I can tell. Like, Tina don't want to be there either, honey. Who wants to be neither? No, I don't think either one of you like each other. And then she goes for the jugular. Did she not, or did she bring up the ex? Child, you gotta be kidding me. Now you playing. Now you done went dirty. Now you done went dirty. Now you done went dirty. You gonna bring up the ex? When she was around, she took care of me. She was nice to me. Don't nobody owe you nothing, lady. Why are you not working? Why does your son, who's in jail, need to be sending you money? And how does he even have money? Is it the other brother's responsibility to take care of you too? And you're young enough to still be working. You look like you could go get your job at the IRS or the post office or the telephone company or the utility company or wherever, the bank. Go get you a job. You want to sit at home and take care of your mom? And I understand maybe she's an only child or the best, or the best kid out of the bunch. But your well-being is not your kids and his wife's responsibility, ma'am. It's just not. So she look how y'all living. Look at the car you driving. And it was like, I barely made it up here. Well, Rob the one wanted this to happen, so I don't know. What do you guys think? It seemed like is Kate and Rob talking? It don't seem like they're close. Do he have a camera in his mama's house? Is he paying her rent? It's just like, wow. It's like, Kate, that's cold. Teeny is a nice young lady. She has 2 kids herself, and she has bills too. Come on, Kate, get your life together and get off your butt and do something for yourself. You are the mother. Them kids don't owe you nothing. So, okay, we got them out the way. Was that it for them? Oh, so when the mama brings up the ex, what was her name? Is she gonna appear on the episode? Is he still talking to her? Does the ex have cameras in her house? Just kidding. Tina was like, that's it. I'm going. I gotta go. And it was the mother calling her back. Lady, you said you didn't want to be here. I spoke to you. You didn't speak back. You told me I gave you a Mother's Day gift. You said that wasn't good enough. I tried to reach out to you. You ignored me. Really? What else? What else? But I just wasn't clear. Did the mama give the money back or not? Can you guys let me know in the chat? I don't think that they covered that. Okay. So next, who should we talk about? Let's talk about the new couple. Oh my goodness. So much to unpack with these people. Shanta and True. They give me Joy, Jinomi, and Red vibes. Because, baby, Shanta is catfishing True. Honey, Shanta is catfishing True. Honey, all them different wigs, lashes, makeup, filters, AI. Girl, that's one thing. Then they ain't never seen each other. They ain't never seen each other. What did he say? Something about how, just like how y'all be on the dating apps, that's what we do. I've seen pictures of her on my tablet, and it's just like how you fall in love on a dating app like you guys. It's just that we just in prison. And he said that with his whole chest. He's still on business with that. He was looking like, Now, what they're in Missouri? Excuse me. Yeah, I have something in my throat. I've been coughing and choking for a while. So excuse me if I have to clear my throat. So they're in Missouri somewhere. He is in jail. And I was just sitting here like, did y'all realize that the cameras were inside the jail? Like, when did they get permission to go inside? Is he in the county? But I didn't know that you could go inside the walls. So that was interesting to see. And all they really showed you was the locks, locks on the door, locks on the window. So True and Shanta, she's a restaurant manager, and he's in jail for first degree robbery. Now, this girl has moved from Kansas City. No, sorry. She's moved from Kansas, the state of Kansas, next door to Missouri. So when he gets out, he can parole to her house. So we get to her. She's in her new home, and she's counting down the days that he gets out. And she gives us the months, the weeks, the days, the time, the minute, hour, seconds. And she got two rings, as in wedding rings, on her phone on the screen. So I guess she's, I guess they're engaged. Let's say that they're engaged. So he's been in jail 12 years. He has locks in the back, something going on in the front. He has a man bun. Who put it there? I want to know. Don't you tell me that they got hairstylists coming into jail. Don't you tell me that. And if they are, drop it down in the comments, please. So they met through her stepbrother. And True sent her some pictures, and she didn't like them. And so he had his cousin or somebody send her another picture. And then she was like, oh, okay, I can work with this. And that's because True, he's okay looking. He's thick and he works out. He has that prison body. He works out. So they've never seen each other in person. And I think he comes home in like a month. So he calls, she's in the kitchen, and she's making a crab boil. And he calls, and they talking, and they kiki, and they talk about sex. And he says that he wants some sex every day, 7 days a week, blah, blah, blah. Now, Shanta, you're going to have to get it together, honey, because you don't look nothing like them pictures. Nothing. And I don't know how he gonna feel about that, but I can't wait to see. Is he gonna act like Red and pretend like Janomi was just the most beautiful thing he ever did see, even though he didn't know how big she was in real life? Oh goodness. Okay. So he talking about he gonna get it every 7 days. So they talk about opening up a restaurant together because that's her dream, is to get a restaurant. He like, wait till I get out. We gonna do it together. Oh my God. You guys are strangers. Y'all are strangers. I don't even think they have FaceTime because he's calling regularly on the phone. So he ain't even seen you. Then this girl, so let's talk about her living situation. So she moved to Missouri from Kansas. She has this mortgage on this house, and her old house hasn't been sold yet. So she is paying $5,000 in mortgage for this man that she has never laid eyes on. How did you fall in love and fall out of your money like that? How does love and money even correlate together? I could fall in love with you and don't give you a dollar. Why do I got no $30,000? This girl has 2 kids. She got 2 kids. Oh, you know what? They are engaged. I remember. He proposed to her. He proposed to her over the phone, and her son put the ring on her finger for True. How dumb can you be? You just can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Now let's get back into this kitchen with this crab boil before the niece and the friend come over. She is boiling the crab, girl. I thought she was making gumbo. Got the gumbo pot on the stove. So the cameraman or woman keeps putting the camera on those crab legs that was in the kitchen sink. Okay, I thought they was raw there to get cleaned and rinsed before you put them in that big old pot, that gumbo pot that was boiling. No, she went got the seasoning and got the shaking the seasoning on the crab legs that are lying in the kitchen sink. No bowl, no pot, no pan, no cookie sheet. Ugh, ugh. She's a restaurant manager. They do that. You got cooked crab in the sink, and these people, and these people about to eat it, and don't get me wrong. She probably, let's just say, she cleaned the sink, right? But I don't believe it because she had a plant sitting up there in the way. Then before the plant, there was a bag of crackers, Dino crackers or Dino crackers sitting on the table. It's just like she wasn't, it was a stuff kind of all over the counter. So she wasn't cooking. You're supposed to clean as you cook. And she wasn't doing that. So, honey, you got these crab legs in a sink with, girl, ew. Anyway, I don't even know if the girl saw that, but I'd have been like, no, thank you. No, thank you. So she what else happened? Let me think. Oh, that's pretty much it. So the niece comes over. They're probably about 5 years apart. They're pretty close in age. And her friend comes over and they're concerned about this hookup because she's in love. And they're like, you don't even know him. Like, could you slow down? Like, you didn't move 20. She said, like, the niece said she moved 20 more minutes away from her. And, like, you're doing too much. Like, how much does she make as a restaurant manager to have spent $30,000 on this guy? And you're able to maintain 2 mortgages. She said it was rough, but you're still doing it. Like, we know she got good credit because she bought another house. She got money. She got credit. She just don't have no sense, but she got credit. Oh, bless her. So then the niece tells us, oh, well, he don't like black women. He messed with white girls. You're his first black girl. What? So the thing is, what did he say? Are we ghetto? Are we just too much, too loud, too whatever they said? I don't even remember. But because I got stuck on somebody in prison for first-degree robbery. Don't date black women because they too much or too, let's just say ghetto. They're too ghetto. N-word, you're ghetto. Okay? You're ghetto. You're ghetto. You are 31 years old. You have been in jail 12 years. You've been in jail since you were 19. You're ghetto. So how is this going to work? And it sounds like he's using her for the money. Hopefully, I hope he has some of it still. But knowing him, he probably got some white girls on his team too. He gonna use this girl up, just like Red. He gonna use Shanta up and go to his snow bunny because that's what he's used to. And they allow a lot. So he probably I don't know, he probably engaged to somebody else too. Can't wait to see how that pans out. But next couple. Who do we have? Okay. Let's do Joey and Michael. Now these two met on Grindr. We met them last week. So they're stuck on this picture. They're trying to get this picture Photoshop so Joey can send it in to the prison so that it can be approved and he can come visit Mike. Child, that picture gonna get Mike more time in jail and Joey gonna get arrested. I was like, it don't even look good. And Michael said the same thing. If you look at it, Michael's glasses were extended longer and they were shades. And the Photoshop part, the glasses didn't have any tint on them. And it's just something in that whole center of the picture just didn't, it looked like it wasn't real. So I know this picture's not gonna get by. I know this picture's not going to get by. So Mike is supposed to call back and meet Joey's family. So the whole family is at the house. He has a brother, sister-in-law, and his mom and dad. So Joey is fussing at Mike because he was like, he's not going to keep staying with him if he goes back to jail and this, that, and the other. And we'll find out why he's saying this. But let's get to what they were talking about. Joey asked Michael about his body count. Now, why? Why do you want to know that? He's been gay longer than you. So anyway. So he's like, so here go Michael. You want body count him in prison or out of prison? And so Joe's like, both. So Michael starts naming all these people. He's like, LJ, Chris, Kyle. I'm like, bruh, hello. LJ, Chris, and Kyle have family and friends, and some of them are probably watching the show. They know where you are, and and it's like you didn't throw them under the bus. What if they just gay in jail? You didn't put their names all on blast. I was like, oh my God. So he named some people in jail. And then he was like, okay, how about outside of prison? And Mike was like, oh, well, this got to be over 100. Like, he was like, over 100. And Mike was like, I'm 40 years old. I was getting it on a regular. Like, I'm a hoe. Like, Joey's like realizing, oh, Mike is out there, or he was out there. So Mike is explaining to him, like, life is boring. You get up, go to work, come home, eat, go to sleep. He's like, it's just boring. Like, you just gotta. And then he said something I was like, brought me back, like, oh my God. He was like, he said, I'm used to prison. And so I'm like, run, Joey, run, Joey, run. Mike has been, if I remember correctly, Mike has been in and out of prison for a long time. They just met. When they met, he was out. And I remember he's been in 5 months, but he's been in and out. And he just said that he's used to prison. So what does that tell you, Joey? What is that telling you? So Joey's like, well, you got to get it together because I'm not coming on this. And Mike was like, hey. He said, because when you're in prison, I'm in prison. So Mike was like, hey, my mom says that. Don't say that. Don't say that. I don't want to run away from you. And it's like, what? Wait. Oh, it's like, Joey, are you listening? Joey. So Joey doesn't like what he's saying. Mike says, don't make me run away from you. And Joey is like, what am I doing? Like, I think it's been 1.5 years. He said he's done doing the same thing again. He's just like, should I stay? Should I go? I'm not going to sit here and keep going through this. And he was just telling him, I'm not going through this with you again. So I think Mike's like, oh, sure you will. Like, no, I won't. So Joey's family is asking about Mike while they wait on him to call. The addiction thing comes up later on because his sister is a snitch. So his mom is like, I don't think 2 addicts should be together. So Mike calls, and the dad, he is so like, hey, he's curious. And I like that he's down for his son and he's open to this gay life and he's okay with it. I really like that for Joey. So Pops, his name is Emil. He calls, how's the Lockup motel? I'm like, dude, tread lightly. You don't know his humor. So he likes him because he got the Navy. He said he had the military haircut, and he checked out. Now Mike is handsome, but that mugshot of Mike's, it looks scary. It looks like whatever you in there for, you did it. So the dad is all excited. The brother, he ain't buying this. He ain't buying it. So they asking questions. They say hello. He calls in. They say hi. And they kind of get off the phone because it's like a 15-minute call. It's not much they can say. Oh, but baby. Oh, but baby. When they got off that phone, if I remember correctly, they started asking Joey a whole bunch of questions. But the mama told Michael, that we interrogate everybody that dates our kids or whatever, try to be funny. And he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take care of them." And she's like, "You better, girl, girl. He ain't gonna do that. Joey gonna wreck his brain and his life trying to take care of Michael." So the sister snitches, snitchy, snitchy, snitchy. So no, the brother's asking like, okay, so how did he call? Does he just, how does he call? And so he's like, oh, I put $50 a week on his books. And they're like, what? What? Somebody tallied up a total. That's $200 a month. And they're like, and I'm like, oh boy. And they're like, you're supposed to be broke. You need to find something to do with that money. And then the parents looking like, you living here rent free, but you spending 200 plus on this inmate. You can go get you an apartment. They live in Idaho. How much is rent in Idaho? Joey, you've been living at these people's house for 10 years. You are pushing 50 because he's 46, right? But I guess Mike is coming out soon and they want to get a place. You need to go find your place now. Spending all this money on phone calls. So the sister, with her snitching self, she said, Joey relapsed. And the parents didn't know. And dad starts crying. And they were like, with needles? He was like, yes. The brother is crying. And this is because Joey's grandmother died from addiction. And some aunts and uncles, some uncles did too. And his own father, addicted to alcohol, was an alcoholic. I think he's been clean for about 35 years or something like that. And Joey supposedly, I think Joey said he was clean 15 years, but he relapsed with the needle with Michael before Michael went back to jail. And he says that Michael saved him, and now he feels like he has to save Michael because Michael saved him when he fell off the wagon. He just admitted, like, I'm lonely. And he's like, the dad's like, you're not lonely. Like, you're being lonely. You're saying that because that's what you're feeling, but you're not alone. And he was like, I was very well. I knew exactly what I was doing. I went to get it. I think they got a hotel. They shot up and he fell off. So now he's back. I guess he's back. He looks good. He looks healthy. And then mom starts crying. And it's just so sad. I mean, I felt like a cousin. I felt like I was in the living room at the table, like, yeah, like, and it's just the brother ain't buying this. Just no way. And the sister just snitched. She's like, well, I'm looking out for you. I just feel like you should know. The mother's crying. The dad is like, oh my God. Joey has broken their hearts. It's hard. Drug addiction is hard. It's every day. It's hard. Okay, so moving on. Let's see. We're going to go with Dumb or Dumber. Let's do Dumber. Andrew and Candace. If Andrew don't remind me of Sean back when he lived in Vegas, when he first met Destiny, if he don't remind me a little of Cliff with Tracy, if he don't remind me of Andy, If he don't remind me of a whole bunch of people, even Christiana's that dude, I can't think his name. Just it always has to be a guy who is just go broke behind this an inmate. Oh, and Chaz and Brownwin. He just it's like every season there has to be an Andrew. So Andrew is at the house, honey. He is packing up the truck that he is paying $750 on a month for Candace. He's in the house. He got the truck packed up. You see suitcases, furniture, bubble wrapped. Everything is tight. So he's in the house, honey, and he is showing off all these designer things that he has bought his, I'm gonna say wife, because he said that if it feels like she's his wife. So he shows us some Valentino sandals. Were they sandals? $500. Some Chanel sunglasses, $400. A chain, $250. A Louis Vuitton watch, $500. Some wallet, $80. Makeup, $50. He had a phone with a bedazzled case, $1,000. And then he put all these things into a Louis Vuitton purse that had a tag on it. So he, hold on, you guys. Okay, I'm back. So he puts all these things in his Louis Vuitton purse, closes it up with the tab in his hand, and the tab ripped off the purse. Oh. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. I don't know how, who hooked him up with the bootleg man. I don't know. But he found one. Because, baby, there is not a purse that big at the Louis Vuitton store that only costs $1,500. It's just not a thing. I think you can get a fanny pack for about $1,500. Something very small on a chain, like a little body bag type of deal. You know, a going out purse, but that big old purse, no sir, no ma'am. You did not. That purse is not real. Let's be honest about that, because they pack the purses up very well. And a Louis Vuitton purse comes in a orangey box with blue ribbon. Oh my God. That purse, a purse of that size, would be at the Louis Vuitton store, and it would probably be about $3,000, $4,000 starting. Okay. So I don't know who got over on him, because even the bootleg man ain't charging that much. $150 maybe, but a $1,500. So we know that was a typo. We know that was a typo. Okay, Louis Vuitton watch. I believe it was a Louis Vuitton watch. 500. Oh no. And why are you buying Valentino? Was it sandals? Why are you buying all these match designers? Why you gotta have Louis, Chanel, Valentino? Like, where was the Gucci and the Tom Ford and the rest of the stuff? Where's the Birkin? Why couldn't you just, I know they have an outlet in New Jersey. I know there's an outlet. Why couldn't Andrew have just gone to the outlet? They have a Gucci store at the outlet. Do they have a Louis Vuitton? Maybe. I think so. I think I've been to Louis. Yeah, I believe so. They even have Coach. They have Michael Kors. I mean, why couldn't you get all this stuff to match? Let's say if you went to Coach, you could have got that purse for a couple of $100. Coach sells watches, wallets. They sell makeup brushes. They sell all kind of little stuff. You could have got the sandals, the sunglasses, everything in a chain. You could have got and a phone case. You could have got all that stuff at in the same brand, and it would have been so cute. It would have been so cute. I don't think Candace really cared about the designer. I'm just saying you could have went to Michael Kors and got all that. But nevertheless, the purse ripped. And it's just, oh my God, bruh. So, okay, he's off. And then broke the tab off the cheap fake Louis. He's on his way to Vegas from New Jersey. It's going to take him 3 days to get there. And when he arrives, Candace will get out the next day. She's on the phone. She's telling him, she's still asking for stuff. She's telling him, stop on the way here. I want, he's buying her trinkets. She wants all these things. This stuff means a lot to her. So he is on a trinket run. He stops in Illinois. He got her some crystals in Illinois. Then he stopped in New Mexico. He found a salt and pepper shaker made out of some kind of pottery. Then in Arizona, he found her a turquoise and bone bracelet. And it's just like, okay. So then he says he had to stop and get gas. And the gas was going to run him, the whole trip, it was going to run him about $600 to $700. And he's telling us it's expensive to date an inmate. Well, duh. Especially a stupid one. It's real. You have to pay to be stupid, okay? You have to pay when you're stupid, okay? And you sit here just told us last week that you're willing to spend your 401k on her. That's what you told us, Andrew. Goodness, expensive. You're going broke. The financial advisor or planner was looking at you like, he's so stupid. And you sitting there asking her, should you get another credit card? No, dummy. You sitting here with this big old truck. Why is that truck $750 a month? And if y'all notice, again, his Mini Cooper was in the background. You drive a Mini Cooper. Why are you spending almost $1,000 on a big old truck? Why does she need that? I'm so confused. Did she ask for that? But here he is thinking that in a couple of months, she's going to move to Jersey. And of course, that's the plan. But I don't think she hasn't told him her plan. We learned that Candace has been married twice. She had a son for her first husband. I guess he's probably teenager. I'm not sure. But she lost custody of him. And he stays with his dad. And she says she is not leaving Vegas until she gets custody of him. And because she wants to restore their relationship. And that's very important. So she asked Andrew, like, you ever thought about moving out to Vegas? And he's all, Vegas? Hemming and hawing. And it's like, they got to work this out because he has a son too. Like, what are they going to do? He's going to move. He's stupid enough. He probably would move to Vegas to be with her. But I think she's on the right path. She needs to, if she's from Vegas, she needs to get her footing and get that together. And I don't think getting custody of him, I don't think it's going to take a couple of months. Andrew, I think she's going to have to rehabilitate. She's going to have to get her stuff together. She's going to have to, show proof that she can take care of herself. Don't you go to a halfway house when you get out of jail? Is she going to be on parole or some kind of probation? I'm sure she's going to have to finish that. and she's gonna have to get a job and get her stuff together and be able to support herself. Cause the daddy, he might want child support from, I don't know how that works, but she's gonna have to pitch in. She's gonna have to pitch in for sure. So we will see how that goes next week. Um, we have one more couple, you guys. Also, it's an older couple, Caucasian man and woman. I think she's the inmate. We have one more couple to meet, so that may happen. I guess should be next week, huh? So, last but not least, or maybe, we have Ayana and Jamal. So their story picks up where she's in the house with her daughter. She's 2 years old. She's on the phone with Jamal and she's excited to see him. Or he's like, "Oh, I see you," or whatever. And she's like, "I want you to see this fat ASS in person." She's sitting in front of her 2 year old daughter. Like, how old is Ayana? Like, grow up. Aren't you an adult? Like, come on, girl. You gotta do better than that. She's what? Let me look at my notes. She's 27. She's fairly young, though, huh? She still should know. So you can't be ratchet all your life. You can't be ghetto. Yeah, I guess you can, but don't. Don't be. Yeah, don't be. So she does it in front of her baby. And so now she has to take an anger management class. It's more like a therapy session because her attorney thinks that it'll help her case because she's facing either 2 weeks to 90 days. So she's trying to stay on the 2 week side of this sentence. So she's going to anger management. She goes to this lady and she's in there and she's talking and she's telling her like she was driving under the influence of weed and she just seems for some reason she don't think that's a problem. for some reason like I don't think it's a problem to be driving high. Like you could kill somebody, ding dong. You can hurt yourself. You can't make fast decisions and you're not driving. Girl, yes, it's like being drunk. I don't think any state, it's not okay to drink and drive or get high and drive. See, this woman can't take accountability for anything. She taking your man, and I think all this is her karma. I really do. I think Ayana is living in her karma. So she goes to the lady and she's like, "I don't think I have a anger management issue. I have an attitude problem. I'm the black sheep of the family. I don't have a dad. I've had to carry this hard shell and I'm tired." And I understand for that. I can understand where she's coming from. She got two kids, single parent, no dad. It's hard out here. And you got the dude in jail and he ain't helping and you spending money over there and it can be hard. I understand. It can be hard. It can be hard. So the lawyer calls while she's in her session to tell her they had a date, a court date. I think it was a day after she had a visit with Jamal. Now remember, she hasn't seen Jamal in 3 years. That's a long time. Why? I wonder why. What y'all think? Why do you think